What's good, y'all? So, this video, I'm going to talk about idolatry. Now, what idolatry is something you love more than God. An idol is something you put over God. Like, there's a ranking, and number 2 is God. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of that is God. And number 1 is something that isn't God. That's what idolatry is. Now, here's a testimony. Now, back in 2020, I was almost like a spiritualist. Like I was almost into new age spirituality. You know, I thought, getting out the matrix, connecting with my higher self, meditating, manifesting. Like I was really trying to get into all of that stuff back in 2020. Now, this was before I gave my life to Christ. Like I thought I was a Christian, but thankfully, I wasn't into the rabbit hole for too long. Like I was in there, I was like seeing all this cool stuff, but I just wasn't in there. Like I just left. I guess you could say I left that phase. I was just too lazy to get deeper. Like I thought astral projection and meditating and doing chakras, I thought that was cool, but I was just lazy. Thank God. I even considered going vegan. I don't even know what that did for me, but I didn't. I still eat meat to this day. Now, one thing that pretty much did it for me was that, like I said, like, yeah, I can't do this no more. When I saw a video of this like spiritual dude, and he was talking about, hey, if you black, you Christian, you disrespected your ancestors, and that like hit me, cause I'm like, I disrespected ancestors because I believe in Jesus and that He died on the cross for my sin. He did something. He paid a wage that I couldn't pay, and I was like, yeah, this ain't it. So yeah, there was that. Fast forward to March 2020, I gave my life to Christ for real that time. I actually made a video about it a couple years ago. I made a choice. I decided to actually follow Jesus this time, and going pretty well. I got more from Jesus than I did from all that spirituality, because I feel like if I was, I would have felt like I would have been a way worse person if I was spiritual, because I would have had mindset like, screw all you, screw you, screw you, my shorts, screw you, screw you, screw you. It's just me, myself, and now. I don't need none of y'all. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, but shoot, like, I was thinking, like, dang, I gotta be antisocial and whatnot. And I would have had mindsets like those, and they just weren't it. So, yeah, I did get more from Jesus, because I learned that there's better stuff than that. That stuff made me better. It did more than what spirituality could do. So later that year, or 2022, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I see an Instagram story, shout out to Ryan McNeely, that I find out all that spirituality stuff that I tried to get into, they weren't godly at all. They were idols. Let's name some stuff, for example. Let's start off with a prime of prime examples. Crystals. Crystals are believed to be relied on for protection, attraction, taking out bad energy, all of that stuff. If we really want like protection and stuff like that, we should go to God. We should go to God if we need protection. You know what I'm saying? God wants us to go to Him. He wants us to go to the source, not the sources. Another example, let's talk about evil eye. Same rule as crystals, like you wear it around your neck and they believe it can protect you from evil spirits. Why have an evil eye for protection when you already have a strong, all-powerful, and loving creator, God, to protect you? There's no point. It's like you're putting your faith in the evil eye to protect you more than you're putting your faith to God. Idolatry. Let's talk about astrology, angel numbers. Those aren't of God. All of this stuff I'm naming, they don't mention that in the Bible. They're not of God. The thing with astrology is you're not supposed to claim your identity through these signs, these Taurus, Sagittarius, asparagus, that's not a sign. Freaking all of that stuff. You're not supposed to. You have an identity through Christ, and that's where you should find your identity. Christ. Not your birthday. Another one, sage. The same role as crystals and knives. Like dream catchers. Witchcraft. Well, witchcraft is different, but the Bible makes it very clear that you're not supposed to be doing no witchcraft. If you want to follow God, you can't be doing all of that. You can't be doing all that witchcraft, sage, evil eye, and stuff like that. You know, you also got manifestation. Will I get to it later? You know, the Bible makes it very clear that witchcraft and worshiping idols, they don't get you to heaven. Let's go to Revelations chapter 21, verse 8. But cowards, unbelievers, the corrupt, murderers, immoral, those who practice witchcraft, idol worshippers, and all liars, their fate is in the fiery lake of burning sulfur, also known as hell. If practicing witchcraft and worshiping idols leads you to hell, you probably shouldn't be doing them. All of that stuff is demonic. The devil is using all of that stuff to get you away from God. Now, what you gotta understand is, if you don't know, the devil was known as Lucifer. He used to be an angel of God. He got kicked out of heaven because he didn't want to be under God's authority. Now the devil is out there with a mission, and that's to turn as many people away from God as possible. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to take you off your path. You know what I'm saying? He comes in and disguises himself as an angel of light. That's why all of this spirituality stuff seems so good. Work of the devil. But they aren't. You know? What makes New Age spirituality look good is because people can find success from it. That's what makes it dangerous. Like, you can find, like, yes, I'll be honest. Yes, you can find through success through manifestation. You know? And now that I'm on that topic, let's talk about it. Manifestation. Yes, manifestation is real. However, when you rely solely on manifesting because you think you got all the power, you're excluding God. It's a way, like, if you keep on manifesting and stuff like that, like, eventually you're going to get your eyes off of God. Like, eventually you start giving yourself the credit, you know, stuff like that. Well, that I know for a fact that's what would have happened with me. Like, I know for a fact that if, you know, back then in 2020, if I got stuff I want, I would have been giving all myself the credit. Like, yes, this me. I manifested this. I got all this money right here because of me. Like, you see the problem there? So, tarot cards, you know, divination and sorcery, trying to look into the future. Tarot cards can also be seen as fortune telling, trying to look into the future and playing the role of God and taking away his authority from you. You don't need cards to determine. Let God determine your future. Like, you're not gonna come close to like being God if that's what you're trying to do. Okay, you're not always gonna make the right moves. Why? Because your heart deceives you. You know what I'm saying? We should have lead in our understanding. Talks about that Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. All this New Age spirituality stuff can be seen as ways to connect to God. No, you can't. The only way you can get to God is through Jesus. John chapter 14:6. God said it himself. Jesus says, I am the way and truth of life. Nobody can get to the Father. You can only get to the Father through me. If you want to follow God and you catch yourself doing it, and you're also like into New Age spirituality, you should ask yourself this. While these things can work, should I really be doing this? Like, do I really need all this stuff? Like, is this stuff going to matter when I die? Are the crystals, how much sage I burnt, are the tarot cards I look into, are the witchcraft I done, are they really where's that gonna go when I die? Because remember, you only go to either one or two places when you die. You're either gonna go to heaven or hell. You're either gonna spend your eternity with God or you're gonna spend your eternity without him. Simple as that. Quick explanation for heaven and hell is heaven, you spend eternity with God. If you live a life with God, you can spend eternity with him. If you live a life without God, you don't spend eternity with him. Simple as that. And God's not going to let people he doesn't know in his house. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't live a life without God and then come up there thinking, hey, I did this and that. I can get in heaven. God doesn't know you. It doesn't work like that. So, where is all that stuff what's it gonna bring you? And no, you cannot do New Age spirituality and God at the same time. The Bible makes it clear you can't serve two masters. You're either with God and all in for him, or you're not. There is and there will never be a 50. There's no such thing as 50-50. You either choose God or you don't. Now, when the Bible says you can't serve two masters, they mean you can either do God or you can serve money. You can either serve God or you can serve addiction. You can either serve God or you can serve crystals. You can't, you just can't. Can't even. Now that you know that, you gotta make a choice, okay? Do you want to serve God or do you want to serve whatever else it is you're serving with us? Crystal, tarot cards, all the spirituality stuff, okay? What do you want to do, okay? Do you want to follow the Creator or follow the things in this world that the devil takes advantage of? The choice is yours. You gotta make the choice. So, summarize this, right? Understand that if you are trying to get to Christ, you can't be doing New Age spirituality. You can't. But the Bible makes it very clear, and if you do it, you're gonna have all these demonic spirits trying to holding you back. You can't do it, and even they're all gonna lead you to hell. I'm back. Lost my whole train of thought. Make a choice. Do you want to follow the Creator or do you want to follow the things in this world that the devil takes advantage of? The choice is yours. Remember, an idol is what you put over God. Something you put your faith in over God. Something you prioritize over God. Something you love more than God. That's what an idol is. Idolatry will lead you to hell. So gotta make a choice.